Good afternoon, everybody. It is March 23rd, 2023. It's been a while since I made the last video. I've decided to come out and show my ugly mug and just talk and just get together with you and maybe get a little closer with you due to circumstances of my own health past a little while. It's been kind of rough. Even after that video I made make an imperative of myself, I suffered more heart attacks. I've suffered maybe 4 since early December. So the past 4 weeks have been pretty good. The stents are holding out. Everything's fine. I'm good. I figured I might as well just come out and just start having some fun and making these videos and not really care about much else, because I definitely have less time in front of me than I do behind me. So I might as well have fun. You know, when you're at this point, you just got to let it rip and let it go. I will be doing a lot of political videos. I'll try to keep my mistakes that I make in the videos and not edit them too much. I think it's more humility, and it's a lot more. It's better to show the humility, and it's a lot more funny to have that. Hopefully, I won't make too many mistakes. So, I've got a video that I'd like to show you of Stephen Harper, and he's just came out this afternoon. They're trying to get the Conservative Party going, and I don't think it's going to be that much of an impact. I'll talk a little bit after this video. It's a 10-minute video. I'll let it run in its entirety. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll cut the crap out of it and just run the key things, and then you can always go. It's a CTV video, so you can just see the link. Maybe I'll do that. I'll just cut it down a little bit, shave it down, and I'll pop in time to time and make a comment, and then after the video, I'll talk a little bit more seriously about a project that I'm starting, and that might be interesting for you and people you know. And if it is, it might snowball. If not, it might die as quickly as me on my 5th heart attack. Anyway, enough of the morbidity. Let's play and see what Stephen has to say.
It's great to be back on a stage with you. I hate to think how long it's been since we've done anything like this.
Yes, well,
Preston.
thank you for that very glowing. I think I might run for election again.
Yeah. Well, I think you're ineligible for a Senate appointment, so it's your only hope.
Yes, no, they would dig up some of the things we said about the Senate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
probably
it sleeps 108.
Yeah. Anyway, so.
Stephen's going to start throwing out some numbers.
Federal election night, 1993. For those who remember, and really unprecedented, I think, since Confederation. Nothing, maybe not even 1921 comes close.
1921. Explain yourself, sir.
2 of the 3 traditional parties are no longer have official party status. A third of the seats in the Parliament, 54 for the Bloc, 52 for Reform,
and the 3/4 of
Deborah
the
Gray used to say, we got a full deck, they got the jokers.
No, I'm just thinking, God, I have to laugh at this joke. Oh my God.
A third of the seats go to brand new or virtually brand new political parties, which had barely existed a few years before. Canada's a political revolution. On the other hand, you know, you and I, we ran in 1988. There was no political revolution. 1993 there is. So tell us about the thoughts on that night and what happened.
Well, like you and I have talked about, I think this is the closest Canada will come to a revolution. I mean, we're not a revolutionary
Lots
people.
of talk about revolutions that are
our
just
revolution
like,
wasn't like the French
because this guy's got
Revolution,
revolutions
where
or
we were too polite to
imagination.
chop off heads. Our revolution was not like the American Revolution. Environment Canada wouldn't give us a permit to put tea in the Toronto Harbor, but
No, not for all the
changes
tea in
that you mentioned
Canada
are
would
pretty
be
fundamental. The governing party
defy
went
the
from
king.
150 some seats to 2, and a third of the seats in that parliament going to parties that virtually hadn't existed 5 years before. So I think that's the closest thing to a revolution. One little thing, 'cause I
Yeah,
was
the
in
Louis
some of the
Riel
other
Revolution
sessions
and the
today, and one of the speakers
1837,
made a point about
1839
how
revolutions.
one
Yeah,
vote
that's
can
nothing
somehow
compared to the
change.
conservative
We lost
political
3
revolution.
seats in Edmonton by a total of 329 votes. That made the difference between whether the official opposition to the Canadian Parliament was a federalist party or a separatist party. If Quebec had gone the wrong way on that night and we were here in that referendum, I was going to go back to Edmonton and say there are 400 people here who are, if you had voted the other way, it would, that the Bloc used that position of official
You'll
opposition.
notice
in the
as
Parliament
far
to-
back as
to
you can
build
go
its case
listening
for
to these
separation. So
Canadian politicians, they just go round and round and round the same thing. They just get off and off the same thing, but they'll never talk about the crown in Canadian politics. And it's so substantial, yet they will not ever talk about it. And that has to stop, because we're going to talk about it here, and I will never stop talking about it.
Member was Deborah Gray, elected in 1988.
Come on,
in the
clap! He's
Beaver
mentioning
River
a woman in
riding.
politics. Those are trendsetters. Clap, everyone.
Well, look, it was an exciting time. I mean, we were new, and it was. So I think you remember, Press, that I spent. Here's what I remember: a couple of things. So that's a good story, and of course, it ultimately unraveled.
And what it brings to my mind today is I think issue campaigns are an excellent training ground for electoral politics. And I kind of wonder what even the Conservative Party of Canada might do in the next year. Is there an issue campaign that
Doesn't
would,
issue
logically fit
campaign
into
sound like
what, Pierre
distraction
is
campaign?
advocating that might, again, sort of tool up the machine to do what's going to have to be done in 2020?
Now, you're not going to entirely like my answer to this, Preston, which is that the party had run, Reform had run on constitutional matters. So the party had to do something to just raise its profile. And so how do you stay relevant? How do you get in the news? How do you think? We had to do those kinds of things. The advice I give conservative opposition leaders these days is quite different. I tell them, I mean, obviously, get on some issue themes, but the Conservative Party of Canada doesn't have to do anything today to be the major contender for power in the next election.
Recognition.
What, like Joe Biden, run out of your basement and hope everybody votes
conservative? The NDP is a
conservative?
branch plant now of the Liberal Party. Geez, only Jagmeet Singh could walk into a room with Trudeau and come out with a deal where he gets nothing. I mean, seriously. I say this is out of pure jealousy.
You can see the whole video on, I'll leave a link in the description below where you can see the whole video, or just go to CTV, and it was uploaded today. I'm not cursing the Conservative Party. Of course, wish them well. The Liberals wish them well if they could grow up. Same as the NDP. If all the parties can actually grow up and be representative for the people, then I wish them well. Absolutely. But I think that we need to move on. I think that the Crown is has poisoned our system. We love to speak of politics without mentioning the Crown. And as much as I like Viva Lafry and all the other guys, and here's a challenge to every other YouTuber in Canada. I'm willing to do it. So I'm going to drop the gauntlet down here, drop the glove down, whatever the hell they call it. Here's the challenge. If you cannot bring up the Crown and what kind of power it exerts over our politicians and our system when speaking in politics in any fashion about Canadian politics, if you can do that, then I would really appreciate you doing that. I don't think you can, though. I don't think it's in most Canadian YouTubers to be able to grasp how infected we are with the Crown and how much it perverts, subverts, and makes a mockery out of democracy. We'll go through that later on. I don't want to get too excited. I want to keep things down to I can feel my heart go. So okay, I'm gonna just maybe take it down for a notch, and just I'll upload this and see what you guys think about it. Whether you like me or not, I don't give a fuck. I like me, so I'm gonna keep on doing what I'm doing. And there's one person that I do want to get under his skin though, and that's Charles King Chuck. Maybe another person there, Mr. Trudeau. We got some issues with you, and we'll be discussing those issues in a public forum, as republics are apt to do. We're not private like a monarchy. Republic means openness. In fact, the Latin term for republic is the meaning is res publica, which in English means a public affair. Thanks for watching the show, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.